so?
I mean, it starts with the rim protection. They got two long, active, athletic bigs that really swallow up the rim. They do a really good job of generating turnovers, like kind of shut the lane down. In and around the paint, they're very tight, and they got good length and athleticism to fly around and contest. So,
you guys had a week off before each last two series. There's 2 days here, and you're just coming off like a 7-day battle.
Yeah.
Like, what is the challenge here of turning the page so quickly and kind of refocusing?
well, I mean, you got the emotional piece. You got to put the last series behind you quickly, and then obviously you got to try to load up on all the new information. You don't have a whole week to prepare, so. But that's just the nature of how these things go. Fortunately, like I said, we've been pretty good in pick and roll, and just have to kind of get back to doing that.
Chris, you were really complimentary of Ant and his commitment to the offensive game plan in both series. What do you want to see him abide by offensively in this series?
Well, we have a feeling we know how they're going to guard him. We'll have to see once the games start. But yeah, I just got to continue to make the right play. Sometimes the right play is, when they put two on you, getting off it at the right time to the right person. Sometimes it's avoid playing in the crowd, getting out of it a little bit earlier. Sometimes it's shooting when you're open. So yeah, I mean, he's been doing it all playoffs, no matter what the looks have been. So we just got to be ready to kind of read and react to what happens. But I have every confidence that I'll continue to do it.
How much is a series like Denver? I mean, I can't imagine a better series to help you when you got to come back and all the emotions you went through. What does that do to toughen the team?
Well, I mean, obviously had great resolve through that series. But that's how we feel about ourselves all the time. Great confidence, no matter what the circumstances are. But all that series means to us now is that if we get down, we have faith in ourselves to come back. But it's going to be a whole different animal with Dallas for sure.
When we were talking to Jaden earlier this year, he said Luka kind of mastered the game in a way. How has Luka mastered the game?
Well, it's one of those guys that's when the ball's in his hands, everybody's playing at his pace. The whole game kind of slows down. He can make every pass on the floor plus score for himself. Does a great job of being able to manipulate the defense with his passing, just, whether he's making the pass or freezing the defender with a look off or something like that. And just got to be able to kind of affect him any way you possibly can. But yeah, it's just, there are very few guys in the league that when the ball's in their hands, like the entire arena just slows down to his pace, and he's one of them.
Chris, with how sharp the ebbs and flows were in that last series against Denver, do you go into this one kind of expecting some of the same?
I mean, I expected, probably be a long series like most of them are these days at this point in the season. Every series has its own personality, so I'm not sure I can predict the ups and the downs right now. We gotta be ready for a hot start. We've been good getting off these starts in the series, so that's served us well. So that's what we're focused on right now.
Chris, you know all the things that Ant does on and off the court in the regular season, but what are some of the things you would only learn about him in a run to the Western Conference Finals that you would see with this kind of experience? Yeah,
I think a lot of it has to do with his engagement goes up. I mean, he's definitely locked in at a higher level. I think he's really enjoying the cerebral parts of the game right now. Being demanding of his teammates, his leadership is, all these things are just kind of, they were there and they were growing, but they've gone to another level and they're omnipresent right now. So.
Chris, we've seen Ant, he always gives shouts out and empowers his teammate. We also heard him, get on Towns about not committing silly fouls.
Yeah.
What allows a 22-year-old to be able to kind of have that conversation with veteran players?
Just confidence. Being a leader is obviously having a confidence to know what to say and when to say it, and having obviously the confidence to go out and do it yourself. You don't have to be perfect. Ant makes a lot of mistakes. He'll be first to tell you that he does so. But when you lead, you have that kind of genuine approach, and your teammates like you, and when you're building your teammates up and always giving credit to them when they do good things, then you can call on them when they need to do things better. So he has really kind of established that relationship with his teammates, and he has gained their trust, just like you would hope he would.
Chris, regarding Mike, what's the pain? Is it a pain tolerance thing for him in terms of managing the Achilles?
I think there's some soreness there, but it's comes and goes. Some days are probably a little better than others right now. So, definitely a pain management thing, but didn't look to be too bad in Game 7. So.
Chris, is it weighing on your mind at all about who might own the team?
Not one bit. I have a great relationship with all ownership parties, and it's been, not even been in my mind at all. So certainly since the playoffs started. So.
Chris, what's it like navigating the grind of like all of this right now? Like 8 wins down, but you're only at the halfway point.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal is 8 more wins.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we just talked about that today. Been a great season. We've accomplished a lot, but we said from the beginning, and as the season was unfolding, like, why not us? The league's wide open. We're not in a dynastic period, and as proven, there's going to be a new champion this year. So everything's still to play for, but a long, long way to go.
How much more mobile are you feeling in and around the bench?
Oh, good. Yeah, my pain is way down. But still not able to be out front just for safety purposes. So.
Chris, I think you talked about this the other day, but that could have been an awkward situation. Just managing. Mike had given instruction or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
how's it gone? It seems like
it's gone great. I mean, listen, one of the things that he's really, really good at is like game management. He helps me a lot with game flow, game management, what I refer to as small pieces of the game, whether it be rotation, special situations, like end of quarter management, clock management, that kind of stuff. And that's what you really need to be on top of too when you're in the position he's in up front. After a few games, I just told him, like, you got to take a little bit more control over certain situations. You're not going to be wrong. It may not work, but you're not going to be wrong. Trust your gut. We can't have a lag time where you're looking for me all the time. So, but nonetheless, I always find a way to get my my message across, or if I want something. So it's not bad. It's been going well. Best we could hope for.
Is this the closest thing to like you being an offensive coordinator watching from the up high?
Yeah, I mean, I do get a slightly different perspective. Just with a step back, you're not in the in the mix as much, so that's kind of nice. But we're still we got really good staff, and we've got a lot of connectivity there.
Chris, what are the rim protection?
Yeah.
That's something you maybe haven't seen in a month, just with the way the playoffs work, and like pick and roll, something you haven't seen in 2 weeks. So what is it like kind of easing back into something when it's not like you haven't seen it in 2 games, you haven't seen it in literally like a month?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. We spent a lot of time like going through that stuff today in practice. Just kind of getting back to those, that foundation of those types of, options on offense and the different things we're going to have to do on defense. So we've done it. We've said all season long, we've preached to our guys, we're going to have to be able to do a lot of different things. And the reason we want to do it is not just to navigate a season, but also to navigate a playoffs. And so we have some experience doing it all. So
Chris, kind of against a little bit different of roster construction that Dallas has, kind of to Jason's point. What are some key things you're looking for from Cat in this series?
I think the thing that the same things that he's been doing all season, like obviously stay out of foul trouble. Defense has been really high level for him. I can see he's not gonna. There's not a primary matchup that he's going to have. He'll probably be more in a help situation or rotations and that kind of stuff. Different pick and roll coverages for him. And then offensively, just stay within the flow, maintain great spacing. His timing offensively has been outstanding. He's just kind of waited for the right moments, and then he's been able to kind of assert himself over these stretches in the game. He's in a good rhythm, so I expect him to, hopefully stay there.
Chris, you won with balance the last game. You won with Cat scoring 40.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a preference, or the playoffs just dictated by that night?
It's just dictated by that night. Every game is different. It's really, as much as you like to think that these games are related, they're not. Everyone is very much different. Adjustments are made. Some guys play well, some guys don't play so well. Sometimes teams do things to take guys out of a game. So just got to kind of be able to separate them and take them as they come.
What's your preference?
Last one,
when guys like going at a shot blocker like off the pick and roll?
What's that? Sorry.
When a guy's like going at a shot blocker off a pick and roll, do you like them to look for the lob for Rudy? Do you like them to just throw it off the rim, and if it doesn't go in, Rudy's there? Like, do you guys have a preference in that type of thing?
Yeah, I like it for him to score. If it's the lob, great. If it's the layup, great. If it's the kick out, great. That's about making the right play. So.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
I appreciate it.